Hello there, Seraphim17 once again, introducing you to my Modern Warfare 3 Veteran Difficulty video walkthrough. This is the level Turbulence in Act 1, and this is a pretty cool level, this one. It's one of my favourites of the game, and it has one of the big wow moments in the game, in my opinion. But it starts off pretty slow, because you're going to be following the Russian president as one of his bodyguards, and shit's going to kick off, and then we'll take over from then. But I mentioned in a video a couple back that this was a special guide for me, and what I meant by that is back when I first got my Xbox, back in, I think it was about 2007, 2000 maybe? 2007 definitely. And the first Call of Duty 4 came out, and I'd wanted to make video guides back then. I wanted to do what I'm doing now, but I didn't have the equipment to do it or the knowledge to get the equipment to do it. Because back then, you had to get capture cards that were in your computer, and I'm not very good with computers, as a lot of people know. I just kind of blag my way through those. So I never did it. But I've been playing Call of Duty since Call of Duty 4, and I've gone back and played 2 and 3, and I fucking hated 3, but 2 was fantastic. And I beat them all except for World at War on Veteran and Call of Duty 3, because I didn't like Call of Duty 3, and I didn't buy World at War because I was so uninterested in World War 2, because I don't find it enjoyable. I don't find old guns enjoyable. I'm a bit picky when it comes to my first-person shooters at times. And this first area, you want to crouch behind the desk and kill the guy that turns up, because he'll shoot you from that doorway, and he can do a lot of damage if you're not careful. But when I envisioned making walkthroughs, I envisioned making them for this reason, for the Call of Duties and for the Gears of War, for the big games that everybody likes, that have legitimately challenging campaigns. And this is nowhere near as hard as what Call of Duty 4 would have been if I'd have done that, because that is one of the hardest Call of Duties to date, in my opinion. I had a lot of fun with that one. But it's still a nice feeling knowing that I'm finally doing a walkthrough for a game that I wanted to do a walkthrough for a long time ago. It's kind of like realising the dream, and it's a nice feeling. A lot like the Gears of War 3 one. This section here is bullshit. When you hit the roof, your aimer will go red, but when you shoot, because your gun goes everywhere, you can shoot at friendly fire people. So I would advise being very careful and failing a few times to get your bearings, because I always shoot the fucking people and fail, and I don't like this bit at all. But it's not that long, so you shouldn't have too much of an issue with it. The best thing to do as well is always swap out your pistol for a secondary that's worth using. So if you don't have time to reload, you can switch to your other gun and do some justice with that. Be careful when you push this doorway, because there's about 4 guys in this room, and because it's so close quartered, you can die really quick. And just always bear in mind you can shoot through cover, so never stop firing even if you can't see the person, because sometimes you can wallbang them through whatever cover they're using. But occasionally it doesn't work, but when it does, it will pay dividends, and it'll just make it much quicker and much easier. On this next push as well, you want to be super careful once you've cleaned up these enemies, because as you move towards the objective, you're going to trigger a bunch of guys that will have the AA-12, and anybody who remembers that from the multiplayer, they will kill you that quickly, so you want to either grab one yourself like I've done, and beat them to the punch. Just rain down some death like I just did. But any gun will work. You'll notice I pre-fired then because I didn't have faith that they died, because the enemies on this game do take a beating sometimes, and it can be challenging. And just utilise the fact that that shotgun is a beast. And if anybody watched my Uncharted 3 guide, I'm completely grateful to the people that are watching it, because it's proven to be quite successful and it was fun to make. It's a good game. They'll know that I mentioned I was going to pull an all-nighter to play this game once and then record it all in one run. And that didn't end up happening, surprise, surprise. But it wasn't my fault, and I'll explain what happened. I went to the midnight launch with my friends. I bought a ton of energy drinks. I bought 2 energy drinks. I'd already had one. I'd been drinking coffees like a boss all day, but I'd got up early, so I'd been up since 8 in the morning, so I was feeling kind of shitty. And when I was coming back, we got a taxi back, I actually left my energy drinks with my friend, because I put them in his bag to carry them. So I didn't have energy drinks to do it, and I couldn't make any more coffee. So what I ended up doing is I beat the entire game on Veteran, and it took me, I started playing the game about 1:45 in the morning, and I'd beat it at just gone 6 in the morning. And at that moment I felt like trash, I felt awful, so I had to go to bed. And I got up at 12, so I slept for about 6 hours, got up, and then immediately started playing again and recorded the full guide. So It worked out the same if you think about it, because even if I'd have done both playthroughs and then gone to bed, I would have probably used the same amount of time, if not more, because I'd have slept for a lot longer. So this way, it enables me to record it and do it really, really quickly. So anybody wondering when this video goes up, as of this video, the guide is completely all done. It just needs to be edited and commentated, and I'm doing that as quickly as I can. And fingers crossed it'll be up before any other guide on YouTube, which would be absolutely fantastic. But as I mentioned, the game is actually not that hard, so it probably won't do as well as it would have done if it was ridiculous. But there'll still be some people that need it, and there'll be some people that watch it because they enjoy listening to me talk shit. So, you know, it works on many levels. And now the plane has gone down. We're now with Leonard or Leonard or whatever this guy is. I can't quite. Leonid, nice Russian name. And we're going to be moving through this lovely slowy. It's not even a word. This lovely snowy environment that's got some really nice particle effects and some nice lighting going on. And we're looking for the president. Not an easy task when, you know, the equivalent of the Russian Air Force One has just gone down. So when you push through to this section, something blows up and hurts you. It does it every time. I'm not too sure what it is. It's probably an engine or some jet fuel. But there's no threat at this moment in time. The only time that becomes a legitimate threat is when we push up past this next guy here that you can see. He's going to start shooting somebody. Somebody's going to start shooting him. A bunch of jeeps will pull up. And this is when shit kicks off. So there's your checkpoint. Here's a lovely stash of grenades and various weapons for you. You'll notice they both have ACOGs, and I want absolutely nothing to do with ACOGs because I'm not a fan. But I do believe I end up picking one up later on anyway, because the 74U from this distance is not as good as it could have been. And we'll soon find out. So I've got an AA-12, which is absolutely useless at this distance, so there you go. Swap it out for the ACOG'd AK, and then just use this lovely crest of snow to pick off the dudes. At this kind of range, you want to be burst firing. It's the safest and most efficient way to do it. And just be patient, because it might not be as hard as the older games, but it still will get you killed if you rush it. And I can't stress that enough. When you watch this, you might think, oh, that looks easy, you're not getting shot, or you're not dying, and things like that. Some of it's editing, the rest of it is the run that I got, the successful run on, wasn't as challenging as the ones before it. So if you expect to play the game and, you know, just run through everybody and kill them and have no problem, that's not how it's going to work. Even if it looks like sometimes that's what's happening, it doesn't mean it was always that way, and you just need to be as conservative as you can, play intelligently, and unless you like watching loading screens and, you know, seeing checkpoints revisited, just play smartly. So these concrete bollards, or whatever they are, and these boxes here are fantastic cover. There's one or two enemies left, and I'm not too sure where they are, and the most terrifying aspect of Veteran is pushing into an area and not knowing where the enemy is, because they can pop from behind a jeep and kill you in the space it takes you to react. And it's just because they're super accurate and they're a computer, and they don't have the hesitation factor that we do as humans, so you need to watch out for that. As soon as you push forward to this area with this dude, you will hit a checkpoint, so you can play a little less, you know, less cagey now that you've hit the checkpoint, and clean these dudes up, because I do think after you kill these guys, there's 3 more around this corner, and that is all the enemies of this level, because we will now have successfully found the president. And I think from now on I'm going to be showing you in the videos the achievements popping up, because it's just something that'll help, you know, the legitimacy of the claim that this is what it is. I didn't do it on the earlier ones because I wanted to make them a little bit shorter, but some of the videos coming up are a lot longer than your average, you know, 10-minute video, so those ones will probably have them in. And all you have to do now is open this door, and notice how it says objective failed. I can't remember it doing that in the other games, because I panic every time I see that, and it's completely preset. This is meant to happen, it happens every time. There's Makarov looking nothing like he used to. And there's you not, you know, doing a very successful job of protecting the president, but what can you do? And that is the end of Turbulence, which I want to spell with an A, but I think it's an E, which kind of sucks. But as always, people, thanks for supporting me if that's what you're doing. If you're new and you want to subscribe, feel free. There will be much more content. And as always, you take care now.